Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Krashy, and today we're going to be doing a VOD review of the final game between Team Galaxy and AFR. I don't want to say it wrong, it's AEOS FORTIS REGES. I'm not sure how to say it, but this is the winter tournament finals. This is the final match. They go all the way to the grand finals. They go all the way to game 5 in the best of 5 series, and I want to take a look at it. So I was actually watching this tournament on stream last night, but it was late, so I went to bed, and lo and behold, Team Galaxy going up against AFR. Now, AFR, a Filipino team, Team Galaxy, a Japanese team, and I'm pretty excited to watch this one. It's going to be pretty interesting. Both of these teams I've known of for a little bit now, have watched both of these teams play in the past, and it's pretty exciting to kind of see it all come to fruition here at like a LAN finals. Granted, I don't think the Filipino team is either in the room or either there at all. I don't actually know exactly how it works because of like COVID restrictions and things like that. But regardless, really, really cool. So they're probably just like in a backroom studio or something. And I'm going to try to fast forward to the game, but I don't want to miss it. So, all right. So we're at the character selection here. Really cool production, really cool stage. Really looking forward to that. Does that Talonflame have a floatstone? Oh, it wouldn't be the first time I've seen it. Pretty standard builds from what I'm seeing. We have some fluffy tails. Lots of fluffy tails here. You can't actually see it. I'm gonna hide my webcam for a second here. Lots of fluffy tails on the side of Team Galaxy. I'd say really standard looking builds coming out from AFR's side. They have a score shield on the Eldegoss, which I think is interesting. There's no Hoopa allowed for this tournament. And we have a very fast Talonflame on the left-hand side with Floatstone. Again, not the first time I've actually seen that before, because Floatstone on Talonflame, when you're out of combat and you're just flying around, you're pretty fast. But pretty crazy stuff. Lots of score shields, lots of fluffy tails on the side of Team Galaxy, so we'll have to see how this plays out for them. Miva running a little bit more of like a bulky, kind of score-heavy Lucario build. We saw that, and look at this stage, man. Looks so cool. Cannot wait to see Worlds come to fruition. Can't wait to see how that all happens. It is a little unfortunate that they can't be out there like on the actual setups there, but it's cool, right? Like they're in the back studio, and they've got their camera set up, so really good job, despite having to deal with like COVID restrictions or whatever the rules are. Still a really great job of like getting it all set up. And we have AFR. Is AFR a full mobile team? Or at least, yeah, they're a full mobile team. Okay, so AFR, full mobile team. It looks like we have maybe, what, 1 or 2 mobile players on the side of Team Galaxy. So just interesting contrast there. And let's go ahead and get into it. So, all right, we have invading Greedent on the left-hand side from Team Galaxy. We have a very interesting Crustal Wiggly lane, so very score comp play style on the left-hand side with fluffy tails, lots of potential farm stealing that they're going to be doing. AFR running a bit more of a standard kind of comp, 1-1-3 standard comp. They have their support in the jungle trying to help deal with the Greedent while the Cinderace is going for the farm. So Cinderace doing their best to secure their buffs and their farm. Eldegoss doing their best to kind of shove off the enemy Greedent. Now AFR getting a kill, but they're going to trade, so be like that. Greedent got some farm and is now down into the lane. You see level 4 on Schwa. I'm not sure how to say his name, but you see level 4 on the Cinderace, not able to get all that farm, but they are going to go ahead and get some kills. So a very scrappy game to begin with, like automatically. And then we have the 1v1. Shout out to Miva, because Miva's dad was actually in chat last night, hanging out with us in the stream, talking about AFR, and I thought that was just so cool. I gotta say, I love when parents support like esports players and people like pursuing gaming stuff. That's just super cool. So his name in chat was CJ, so shout out to CJ and Miva, if I remember correctly. Really cool to see. But either way, let's go ahead and watch this game. AFR getting a little bit aggressive. It definitely looks like these two teams have a score-focused play style. I would say the left-hand team for Team Galaxy is much more score comp, and they just have like fluffy tail focused score comp. And the right side team is a little bit more of like a regular style like team fight comp, but they even still are much more score focused. They have like the score shield on Eldegoss. They're a little bit more willing to push forward and put scores in at like lower point values. And so the way that the kind of like meta has evolved in a different side of the world from NA or from like the Western world, it's just very different. They focus scoring a little bit more. And now look at this, Miva kind of popping off a little bit in the top lane, but he's just trying to catch up in experience. The Talonflame going behind the back, scoring the 30, that's big experience, and just a lot of points in general, but you can see that big experience coming out. This game's honestly kind of hard to follow. There's just a lot going on. All right, Miva gets taken down. Now they're going to go get big scores. So the roaming Crustle from Tun is nice overdunk in the top lane. That's going to be 26 overdunk. But even still, in the bottom lane, AFR just kind of like matching scores and trading. You see, looks like they're pushing that top lane. Team Galaxy's pushing that top lane. They're trying to like wipe out this extra farm. So Miva's up there to try to deal with that, get as much of his own farm as he can. And we have the 7-minute objective spawning. So it looks like AFR with Fluffy Tails, or Galaxy with Fluffy Tails are trying to play for the Rotom, would be my expectation, but they're actually rotating down. So they're rotating down, so maybe not. They want to keep that experience lead. You do have Cinderace like pushing for level 9 in the jungle, so we'll see if this turns into a flip. They do have the Talonflame, and with Floatstone, I'm assuming it's Flame Charge Fly. We actually did see that it was already Flame Charge Fly. Or at least Fly, but I doubt he would run Fly early. So he's got the Fly build. They're probably going to start flipping this very, very quickly. Their Lucario is still in top lane, and AFR is getting aggressive looking for the team fight. So Tun goes down. That's pretty good for them. They might be able to just go ahead and flip this with the 5 of them. They do have the Cinderace ult as well, the Unite move. And Talonflame trying to come in, maybe not. No, okay, I was gonna say he might be looking at him. So AFR securing it. The scores are pretty decent. They're down just a little bit, but a nice overdunk, really big overdunk there. 39-point overdunk, the max you can get at this like stage of the game, without 50 points being in the pocket. So now they're trying to defend the top tower. So they're getting a little bit of help if they can in that top lane. They don't want to get that tier 2 broken because that's a lot to deal with. Against, you know, a very score-heavy potential team. So I think the biggest thing you can do to slow down a score team is to try to defend your outer tier 2s if possible. It's tough, though. It's tough. But if you can slow that down, you kind of have a chance. So 134 to 119, 5 minutes and 40 seconds left. Still some players that are pushing for their Unite moves. But look, they're just getting all these scores in bottom, and you know, the more they stand on, see, this is the crazy thing about the way that like these score kind of teams work. The more they stand on, the faster it is. If they have score shields, it's hard to break it. Like they just brute force it. Dying a lot of the time doesn't really matter. Tun is going to go ahead and use his Unite move. He didn't have the score shield passive up, I think. Like it was already kind of like messed up, so he's just going to run this top with that Unite move and his Shell Smash. He can just run top and score. So scoring in top lane, keeping that score lead. AFR, again, they have experience lead a little bit. They have a stronger team fight team, and they have the ability to win a team fight, but you can see the way that Team Galaxy is playing. They're just running all over the place. They're not really engaging in fights. They always have like 2 in top, like 2 in bot, like 1 running around the mid, 3 in top. Like it's a lot. Now, if they can find a pick like this, they'll definitely do it. So the Cinderace getting a little bit caught out, but the Eldegoss dropping it. So now it's turning into a more AFR like focused team fight. We'll see if this Talonflame can really do anything. But no, not really. You see what I mean? Like once they get into like team fight mode, it's really hard for them to do anything. So X Scissor Crustle, that helps a little bit, and definitely can for like some of their team fights. And Cinder's still alive. You can see the strength of like a team fight comp against this kind of comp where they just can't kill him. Once he gets that support, he gets the peel, they can't kill him. So the game is incredibly close. Incredibly close. We have some mid-map objectives up now with Rotom being spawned, and Galaxy's going to be pushing that tier 2 goal, so they don't quite have it open yet, but very close. Oh, look at that. Pikachu, Kiwi from AFR secures the Dreadnought, so they keep that experience lead, and that top lane is the focus of Team Galaxy. You can see they're trying to focus it down. This is going to be the last Rotom here, so maybe not forcing it just yet. Dan wants to go and put some more points in if he can, just trying to keep themselves, you know, score relevant, because they know they're playing against a very score heavy team. It's hard for them to keep the scores high, so it's hard for them to keep up in the scores. And then the way that Galaxy seems to play it is like if they can find a pick, they push it, right? Like they'll go for the pick, and that's how they're getting their experience, basically off catch-up experience. So even though they're not getting Dreadnoughts, the experience is like fine. The experience is honestly fine, because they move around a lot and they get a lot of picks. So Galaxy gets the score on bottom. They break that. They're keeping the score lead, almost 100-point lead. They commit to top lane. They get the Rotom. They have that. There's no more Rotoms in play now, so this will be the last one. So no kind of crazy endgame pressure, and they're not really going to push for this. But the question is whether or not they can get a base lane open. So if Team Galaxy can get a base lane open, that would be interesting. we'll see how AFR can deal with this, you know, near 100-point deficit as they push towards the end game. But that's a level 14 Cinder. So even though the experience isn't too bad, if you look at it, 12, 12, 12, 11, 11, 12, 14, 11, 11, 11. So you can see that where the clear experience difference is in that of Cinder versus, you know, say one of the level 12 players on Team Galaxy. So 24 seconds, both teams just full farming the map, getting as much score as they can, as much energy as they can, and we'll see how this final 2 minutes breaks down. Is it something where they full flip it? Are they going to use all these fluffy tails? They have a lot of burst if they have fluffy tails. So we'll see if they go for instant back caps. We'll see if they go for the, you know, you see the Talon going for it. He's looking for it. Now the Lucario kind of mirroring him, so he knows he can't get that base lane open. And now Talon forced to use his Unite move. He's going to have to go straight up into Fly. If he doesn't, they're already starting to flip this. The Unite move's coming down from both sides, and that's okay. AFR not getting the Zapdos. I think if they had gotten it, would have been very interesting. The Talon Flame dies very, very quickly, so you can see even just a little bit of excitement in the camera in the bottom left. So they're pushing forward. Both teams have the responsibility to try to counter score if they can. Cinderace is just going to try to see if he can get a kill in the bottom lane, which he does, so that's good. Drops some points there, and now, okay, it's AFR's game to try to come back from. So very crazy series. They make it all the way to the final game, 1 minute 17 remaining, but the thing is that they have a team fight comp. So trying to win this end game is going to be hard. They need to try to push together. They need to try to get that Cinder score in somehow, or really, I think the only true win condition is if they can wipe out the whole enemy team. So they know that they're very, very far behind. Dan doesn't have any points. That's not going to help at all. And this is a really rough situation to be in. But they're all together, and they are pushing. But you have members of Team Galaxy that are also still going to be looking for scores. So if they can hold this off just long enough, and if Team Galaxy can continue to score, it's just out of reach. And that's what it's looking like right now. It looks like it's just mostly out of reach. The Talon Flame makes its way back to base. They're winning the fight-ish. You see the Greedent on its way back. They're still scoring, but they basically have to kill all of them, and it's just done for. So Team Galaxy takes it. Crazy performance from both teams, going all the way to the finals, to the Game 5. It's a solid game. It's a solid game, but it's just tough. It's tough to shut down the score comp. I haven't had the pleasure of watching the entire series, and it would be a very, very, very long video, so I just decided to do the finals for this one. But what a great performance from both these teams to be able to take it all the way the distance to Game 5, to get it really, really close. They both obviously were probably sticking to their strategy. Maybe they made a difference in strategy. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you watched the whole thing. But Team Galaxy winning the whole thing, super, super exciting. This is the first, like, I wouldn't call it the first big land, but it's one of the first lands for the game. I think it's maybe the second or third actual land for the game, and it's just really, really cool to see. So congratulations to Team Galaxy. Congratulations to AFR for making it all the way to the final game. I mean, that is no, no short feat. So friends, drop a comment for me, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. This was really exciting for me to watch. I was excited watching it last night, and I'm excited to kind of catch up to it now, and I'll have to go back and watch the other games because I want to see the full context of the full series and see how these teams are playing. So congratulations to Team Galaxy. As always, friends, be sure to be kind to one another, tell someone that you love them, and I'll see you on the next video.